You ever wonder what sidearm a Special Forces operator trusts when everything else can fail? This isn't about marketing gloss or internet hot takes. It's about pistols that survive mud, salt, and missions that don't care about comfort. Today we break down 5 service pistols that actually earn their place on a kit list. Proven lockups, predictable triggers, and ergonomics that keep hits on target when adrenaline spikes. I'll show you which guns favor modularity, which favor straight-up reliability, and exactly where each one fits in a team kit. Stick around. You'll learn what to test at the range and what to ignore in the spec sheet. Join Firearm Standard. Like, follow, and get gear reviews that actually matter. Glock 19 Gen 5. The Glock 19 Gen 5 is the kind of pistol that makes life easier without asking for attention. At 402 inches of barrel length, it keeps a compact footprint while offering a sight radius that's usable for deliberate shots, and the standard 15+1 capacity hits the sweet spot between concealability and endurance. Where the Gen 5 really earns its reputation is in repeatability. It tolerates long, high-round counts, adverse conditions, and minimal maintenance better than most designs in its class. That reliability isn't sexy, but it's everything when you're on a schedule or counting on a gun to work after a hard week in the field. Ergonomically, Glock simplified the grip by removing finger grooves and moving to a more neutral texture. That change matters. Fit is more consistent across different hands, and shooters spend less time fighting the gun to get a usable purchase. The lower bore axis on the Gen 5 reduces muzzle flip, which translates into faster, more accurate follow-ups when you string shots together. In practical terms, that means tighter groupings under stress and fewer wasted training hours beyond compensating for recoil characteristics. From an armorer and logistics perspective, the Glock is a dream. The chassis strips down quickly for inspection, and parts are nearly universal at this point. Magazines, springs, and common spares are easy to source. For units or individuals who can't tolerate downtime, that availability reduces risk. You can keep a modest spares kit and get back into service fast. Functionally, the Glock's feed geometry is forgiving with a broad array of factory 9mm loads, so you can trust it with duty and training ammunition alike. Still, always test your mission loads. Shooting the Glock well boils down to fundamentals: consistent grip, smooth trigger press, and learning the reset. When you train correctly, the Gen 5 rewards you with reliable follow-ups and predictable performance. For teams that value commonality, low logistics burden, and a proven baseline platform, the Glock 19 Gen 5 remains a pragmatic, no-nonsense choice. SIG P320 M18. The P320 M18 is the modular answer to a common problem: one unit, many missions. At its heart is the serialized fire control unit. The serialized component is the gun's legal identity, while frames, slides, and barrels act like role-specific gear. Swap a compact frame for concealment, change to a full-size slide for range work, or fit an optic-ready slide for a red dot without reserializing a new firearm. That capability saves procurement headaches and lets an armorer reconfigure kits to match tasks instead of issuing whole new pistols. On the firing line, the M18's 3.9-inch barrel and compact slide strike a practical balance. You get enough sight radius for deliberate shots while keeping a footprint that works for vehicle work and close-quarters drills. The striker-fired trigger is clean and repeatable. Not a magic cure for poor fundamentals, but it does help tight groups under stress when the shooter presses well. Modularity extends to ergonomics. Backstraps and grip modules let operators fine-tune hand fit, which directly affects recoil control and follow-up speed. Small changes in grip geometry change where the muzzle goes on recoil. The M18 lets you tune that interface without changing your serialized core. That flexibility is powerful, but it requires process. Armorers must track which frame slide combos have been function-checked together and enforce a standard acceptance test after any swap. Logistically, keep a regimented kit. Spare fire control housings, tested mag types, and a clear labeling system so you don't mix untested configs into operations. Ammo testing is non-negotiable. Run your mission loads across the configurations you plan to field and document results. In practice, the P320 M18 rewards teams that treat it like a system rather than a single gun. Invest in inventory discipline, acceptance testing, and user-specific ergonomics tuning, and you get a compact, adaptable platform that reduces equipment redundancy and speeds role transitions. If you prefer single-item simplicity, another platform may be easier. If you value adaptable tooling across missions, the M18 is hard to beat. H&K P30L. The P30L is a service pistol that rewards methodical training more than flashy features. That longer slide gives you a sight plane that makes deliberate shots easier to hold and recover from, which matters when you're trying to make consistent hits under time pressure. In practice, that extra sight radius reduces perceived wobble at the front sight and makes follow-through less fussy. You'll notice tighter groups and cleaner transitions when you work on cadence and trigger control. Treat the P30L like a tool. Practice slow, deliberate press drills first, then build speed while keeping the sights aligned. Ergonomics are the platform's real multiplier. Swapping grip panels, and adjusting the palm shelf isn't just comfort theater, it changes the angle of recoil and how the trigger finger meets the brake. A small backstrap change can cut your split time noticeably because your hand begins to ride the gun where the designers intended. For multi-shooter environments, the ability to fit a single frame to different hands without gunsmithing saves training time and improves collective performance. Test each shooter's preferred panel and lock it in before qualification. On durability, the P30L's reinforced fire control and tight slide fit translate to predictable wear patterns. Those features let the gun hold zero and timing longer between inspections, but they don't eliminate the need for a maintenance routine. Field strip after heavy use, check locking surfaces and extractor condition, and replace recoil springs on a schedule tied to round count or hard use cycles. In salty or humid environments, shorten those intervals. Corrosion and grit are the real enemies, not the metallurgy. Tactically, accept the DA-SA model and train for it. Drill the long double-action first pull until it's a reflex, then practice the single-action follow-up until it's instinctive. Work malfunction drills and ejection pattern checks with your mission ammo so you don't learn bad habits under pressure. Finally, equip your armory with a small armorer kit, spare springs, pins, and magazines, and a clear acceptance test sheet after any component swap. Do the basics, and the P30L will repay you with steady, mission-ready performance. Beretta M9A4. The M9A4 keeps the core that worked for decades and dresses it in kit you actually use on duty. Its short recoil, locked breech action, and linkless vertically tilting barrel give predictable lockup and extraction under real loads, and the A4's updates focus on mission utility, optics-ready slides, threaded barrel options for suppressors, and higher capacity magazines where agencies want extra endurance. That combination makes it a strong choice when you need a full-size service pistol that can wear modern accessories without losing the legacy reliability that earned the platform its reputation. Where the A4 pays off is role adaptability. Need a duty pistol that doubles as a patrol gun and a suppressed entry tool? The A4 is designed for that workflow. The longer sight radius of a full-size slide helps deliberate shots and aids sight alignment when mounting a reflex sight. The full-size grip works well on the duty belt and under load-bearing gear. It's comfortable for extended wear and helps preserve sight picture during strings of fire. For teams that expect varied tasks, the A4 reduces the trade-offs between endurance and capability. Controls and ergonomics reflect Beretta's long service heritage. Safeties, decockers, and familiar control placement make it easy to train and to visually inspect compliance with unit policies. The manual safety decocker allows an agency-specific carry doctrine. Many units opt to carry safe as a policy for holster discipline, and the control layout is repeatable across shooters. Recoil feels like a push rather than a snap. The mass and frame geometry smooth follow-ups and preserve sight acquisition when you work double taps. Operationally, accept the trade-off. The A4 is larger and heavier than compacts, so it's better suited to duty belts and armor than deep concealment. If you field optics or suppressors, add protocol, run an optic zero routine with your mission ammunition, then verify function with the suppressor installed. Suppressed operation can change cycling and ejection patterns, so confirm reliability across your selected loads. Maintenance is routine but must account for accessories. Check optic mounts for torque, inspect suppressor mounting interfaces, and keep a cleaning schedule tuned to your environment. Standardize magazine types and loads to simplify logistics. Train shooters on your chosen safety decocker policy, run malfunction drills, and document acceptance tests after any configuration change. Do those basics, and the M9A4 serves as a flexible, proven platform that bridges classic service design and modern mission needs. SIG P07. The SIG P07 is the kind of pistol that rewards steady hands and routine maintenance more than flashy marketing. Built around the Omega fire control, it gives a reliable DA/SA cycle, a longer, heavier double-action first pull for safe carry, and a short, crisp single-action break for precise follow-ups. That transition isn't just academic. Under stress, predictable trigger behavior reduces flinch and keeps your rounds inside the target. The low-bore axis and compact slide work together to tame muzzle flip, so you can get back on target faster without wrestling with the gun. Fit and feel are practical strengths. The P-07's grip angle naturally places your hand behind the bore, which helps you drive through recoil instead of letting the muzzle climb. Factory backstraps and easy-to-fit aftermarket panels mean you can tailor the grip to different shooters quickly. Small changes in grip geometry make a real difference in split times and group size. The simple 3-dot sight plane is rugged and fast to index. No fancy glass required to make the pistol perform its primary job. On the range, the P-07 shows its steady side. The Omega system's trigger transition reduces shooter-induced dispersion, so controlled pairs and doubles land tighter than you'd expect from a service-grade polymer pistol. Feeding is usually straightforward. CZ's ramp geometry and extractor design are forgiving with most modern 9mm loads. Still, run your mission rounds. Confirmation testing is standard practice and keeps surprises off the lane. Maintenance is low drama. Field strip, inspect, clean, and reassemble with standard tools. Parts are common enough that armories and civilian users won't be hunting obscure spares. The polymer frame resists rough use, and the fire control durability holds up under high round counts when you keep springs in spec. Replace small wear items before they fail, and the pistol will repay the attention with consistent function. Operationally, the P-07 is versatile, a duty gun for agencies that prefer DA first pulls, a reliable backup for professionals, and a solid trainer for shooters learning deliberate trigger transitions. It's a middle ground pistol, rugged, accurate, and built for work. Train the DA/SA rhythm, validate mags and loads, and the P-07 will serve without drama. When you line up these 5 pistols side by side, the lesson is simple. Mission first, brand second. The Glock 19 Gen 5 wins on pure reliability and logistics. The SIG P320 M18 gives unmatched modularity for units that shift roles. Heckler & Koch P30L rewards shooters who invest in DASA training with accuracy and control. The Beretta M9A4 modernizes a service classic with optics and suppressor readiness. And the SIG P320 sits comfortably in the middle, balancing toughness, ergonomics, and cost. None of them are perfect, but each excels when matched to the right operator and mission profile. If you want more no-nonsense breakdowns, tested insights, and straight talk about what actually works in the field, hit subscribe and join Firearm Standard. Stay sharp, stay prepared, and never stop training.